All right, that's where I slept here. Just wild campsite. Just crossed over that. I'm not sure the name of that peak, but I'm south of Bowling Springs. So if you go in there about 6 miles. So last night I came into this campsite. I just crossed over that really rocky, scrambling kind of a climb at 1,100 feet. I have to look at the name of that. It's kind of sketchy. It was a local came through there. It's kind of poorly marked, but you could seriously fall in that section, fall through some holes and kill yourself. But it required 4-point climbing. The poles almost were useless, but I didn't even get video of it because it was so sketchy. But it's doable. At least it wasn't wet. But followed a local out of it, and then came down to the road and was going to climb another 400 feet to the next peak, but it was so windy and the storm came in. So, and then as soon as I finished dinner, it rained for about 3 hours. So, and lightning, a lot of lightning. But so I'm glad I stayed down here at this lower elevation. Just there's a road just down there. This campsite's like freaking huge. It's just a wild camp, but no bear bag or anything. I had like full 4 bars cell signal. Could have watched a movie if I wanted, but the rain just kind of lulled me to sleep. And it was a lot better than being on that ridge. But anyway, starting day 5. Should be a good one. We'll see if I have any of the climbing sections like I did yesterday. Yesterday the trail kind of went through some rocks like that, just like through the center of it. Whereas this right here, this section here is going around it. But I'm sure there'll be some interesting stuff coming up. They don't call it Rock Slovenia for nothing. Almost in Boiling Springs. I think I had, last night I checked, I had 4 miles to get there. So lightened up my water load. I've got about a cup of water, which is perfect for the amount of water you should carry to town. But should be there in a little bit. Hope to, I was thinking about maybe getting a shower, but I think I'm not really that dirty. Probably just kind of continue, but maybe get something to eat. So I can get a hot meal or something with veggies. I'll do that, and then maybe I can charge a little bit while I'm in there. But that's my general plan right now. That's pretty nice. That's a chicken farm. I'm glad it's way over there. Coming into Boiling Spring, just outside of it. Still like a mile and a half from the downtown section. The little cafe that I wanted to go to get coffee and breakfast maybe is closed on Thursday and Sunday. Today's Thursday. So. that structure back there was an old coal. Of course, you can read the sign, but it was an old coal furnace before they changed the process. It was 17 something to 18 something when it was in service. So I didn't stop at that cafe. They were actually open, but I figured I got enough delays in my trip here. Just kind of keep it moving. But this is a 14-mile section that's got no water and camping in it. So I'm kind of camping at the end of it. Trying to make sure I kind of get there without. And it was kind of late lunch, early lunch, late breakfast. And I wasn't really hungry, so could have eaten, but I don't need to. So, but I do want to reach Bennington, Vermont. So I've got to get at least 18 a day to get there. I'd like to get to Killington, just a little bit past Bennington, or at least have enough time to just take a. My wife went to Bennington College, so I'm going to take a walk around on the campus. I think that'd be neat to see where she went. So hopefully, and it's not near the trail or farmland. Just passed a whole bunch of noisy interstates and highways. The little farm stand that was by the interstate was closed too early in the season. There's nothing, as you can see, there's nothing growing in the field, so nothing for the farm stand to sell. So I guess they sell just the stuff they grow. That was a disappointment. Anyway, a little bit further today. I'm not exactly sure where I'm at, mileage wise. Should be about 2/3 of the way down for the day. It's 2 o'clock. So I got about 4 hours left. Maybe 5, or we'll see. Wait. Looks like rain, but wasn't supposed to be any. But sometimes that's not right. It's kind of cool. It's definitely cool. So I'm guessing it's around 55, 60, probably 55. Hello. Hello. Way over there, right about here, you can see the interstate going left to right. Not sure if that's where I was a while ago or not, probably. Pretty good view. They had this on the map as a viewpoint, so they built this little bench for you to sit on. Alright, that was my campsite in Darlington, outside of Darlington shelter. I did have a dead tree next to me. I didn't see until this morning. So anyway, good campsite. Pretty windy last night, and didn't have to sleep in my puffy, but I was borderline. I almost did. If it got a little colder, I probably would have. My legs were fine. My upper half was. I wish I didn't forget those straps that go under to hold the quilt to the mattress, because it keeps it from getting drafty. So it was a little bit drafty, but it wasn't bad. So anyway, about to head out. I'm probably gonna go to Duncannon and probably take a shower, maybe charge some batteries, and then skip out of there and go to, instead of a 20-mile shelter, maybe a 15-mile shelter. So instead of staying overnight at the shelter, but things change. But I could at least get a few more miles out of the day. All I really need is a shower and some batteries. So okay, that's where I stayed. Darlington shelter, so Cove Mountain shelter is 7.3, but I don't know if I'll hit Kennedy shelter 18. That's stopping at the hostel. Yeah, that's possible. That might be the one I was targeting. It said it was 15, but I'll have to double check. I think there was an Alex Kennedy shelter that I passed yesterday that I didn't notice, because I think it just said shelter. It didn't have a name on it. But I didn't look at my app while I was passing it. But then there's this one. So I don't know, maybe some famous Kennedys that had something to do with working on trails around here. That they got the distinction of having two shelters named after them. I'll have to look into it. Anyway. Right now my feet feel good. Then I guess I'm pretty much on a regimen of doing a Advil morning, noon, and night, and we'll see what happens. And I did actually rest my feet and put them up. I elevated my feet twice yesterday. Well, did it once at lunch and sort of massaged them and then put them up in the air a little bit. But then later I laid on my back in the afternoon, and around 3 o'clock, and did it the proper way. And seems like the swelling goes down a little bit, or the pain is a little bit less. Numbness, I wouldn't really call it pain, it's just numbness that I'm feeling. It's kind of like the usual feeling I start to get. So just gotta, maybe it's a thing, I'm not sure, but it's about 8 o'clock. I've been walking for about an hour. Came off the hillside. Well, I've been hiking for like 2 hours from the shelter this morning, and just only view I've seen is this gas line. So I'll look and see what river that is. About an hour away from Duncannon, maybe. Which is actually right there. There it is. Walking into Duncannon now. So it's like 4.5, almost 5 hours to get here from Burlington shelter. So debating about whether, it really comes down to how long it takes to charge my batteries. So if that silly power bank takes 5 hours or so to charge, I'm probably just better off staying here and charging it, so I can do another 5-day section. I think this was one of my resupplies anyway, so I'll let me get my logistics and figure it out. leaving Duncannon this morning at 8. I had dinner with Roller Coaster and Praying Mantis, who caught up with me yesterday. Also, we saw Cowboy in the restaurant. We're eating at the Doyle Hotel. He came over and ate with us too. Anyway, the three of us hooked up for breakfast this morning at the cafe across the street, and so heading out of town now and just about to get on trail. So this is day 7, so it's Saturday, and catch up with you later. Crossing over the Susquehanna River just outside of Duncannon. Apparently there's some birds that'll attack you down here, so you got to keep your wits about you looking for that. So something else to think about. Last night I did soak my foot, and I put an ice pack on my foot last night and this morning. The swelling has gone down a lot, and right now it feels good. And I actually took 4 Advil, like 800 milligrams this morning, and maybe I'll titrate for some later, and hopefully I won't have to do that again, but just gonna play it by ear. This is where I wild camped last night at the end of day 7. It was a cold spring down there that I soaked my foot in last night and this morning, which should help a little bit. Probably still need to go light on it, but anyway, that was this is the beginning of day 8, so this is Sunday, and not exactly sure. Should be another wild camp tonight. I think there's a tent site I'm aiming for today, so, and it's supposed to get warmer. So good morning. Soaking the feet. This water is really cold. It really hurts. Must be coming out of the ground somewhere. It's so freaking cold. But anyway, I'm doing what I should be doing. Trying to make it reduce the swelling a little bit. Let's see if it helps. Okay, first snake that wants to pose for pictures. Yesterday's snake just kind of scooted off the trail. And he didn't hang around much. Where are you going, buddy? He's about 4 feet long, about 1 inch in diameter at the fattest part. Just a king snake or rat snake. They got those little gold diamonds, tiny gold diamonds all over their body. Bye-bye. So we just decided to take the main trail through the beaver dam section, past the Rouse shelter. That's here in Pennsylvania. There is a detour, but there was a posting by one of the early pioneers on Far Out that said that it's passable and was fine as of like 4 days ago. So might get some wet feet though. I just did a quickie resupply here at Swardia at the hostel here,
We had a good setup. I got some troll paper for free. I got a bug net for free, and they had a ton of like grocery stuff in there. So I got my meals pretty much covered, and all my snacks are covered. Anyway, everything's pretty good, so I'm not gonna eat a whole lot when I really get to Port Clinton. I don't have to go to Cabela's anymore. That's good news. Cute little bridge. So this was campsite at the end of day 8. And today is day 9. It's a Monday of the second week. I think this is day 90 of my hike. All 3 section hikes. Anyway, this is should be a shelter coming up here in a little bit. I should top off some water. I carried a little bit extra water into sight last night. Figured 90% chance I'd stop here at this tent site instead of going to a shelter, which was like another 3 miles. So I'm glad I did that, because it would have been like 8 o'clock when I got there. So stopped at about 6. Anyway, see you on the trail. This is called Lookout Point. Apparently it's also a snake nest, so I'm not gonna go on those rocks. So, I've seen something similar before. That's close enough. I'm about 8 miles in. This is the Fisher Overlook. Just across the highway down there. Had some trail magic. Got a soda, candy bar, and a banana. And I kind of hit the spot. That little climb. I think I've got about 6 miles till I hit water again. So it's about to start warming up. I'm supposed to hit 91 today. Another nice view. A little bit hazy. It's about 11 o'clock. So not the ideal time for taking pictures. It's getting warm. Trail builders. Should we go that way or that way? Let's go that way. Anyway, I just passed the 2,000 mile marker, or 1,200 mile marker, excuse me. Got ahead of myself. Take a picture of it. I'll put that in the video. Just got water upstream of this and soaked my feet. I didn't know this was... There's a dam in Tennessee or North Carolina that I thought was this dam. This is the one I've seen people swimming in. That other one was way too shallow. You wouldn't swim in it. Saw fish over here. There he is. So that was the this is where I stayed, Eagle's Nest campground or shelter. It's about 9 miles outside of Port Clinton. Did about 24 miles each day. I did 3 extra because I didn't want to stay at this like buggy, flat, forested natural campsite, and I just did another 3 through this massive rock field to get here. Got here at about 7:45, which is the latest I've hiked so far. So my feet were kind of tired. But anyway, it's a shorter distance into Port Clinton this morning, and I'll have to figure out what I'm gonna do for getting a ride over to the store from Port Clinton. So, oh, I did say 0.3 to the campsite. I didn't notice that. Well, off we go. So yesterday there was a really short detour section of trail, and I did some kind of weird stupid spin move on my foot. I was standing on a rock and I just kind of twisted to face the other direction, and my shoe had too much traction on the rock, and so this is my right foot, the one that's swollen, so it just sort of did a twist thing on it, which normally would be okay, but since it's sort of swollen, I felt like a sharp pain, like a nerve pain or something. But anyway, it went away real quick. Took some Advil, walked it off. Eventually started walking faster, and I just kind of babied it the rest of the day, even through that rock garden before campsite last night, which was incredible. It was nuts. The irony of that rock garden is that after you're done with it, just before you get to camp, you come to a gravel road. I'm like, gosh, they got the technology to pound this crap into a road, but just removing a few of these boulders on these trail sections wouldn't seem that difficult. But I guess they want to keep the moniker Rocksylvania, so they don't do any basic rock work to try to improve it. Thousands and thousands of just loose rocks they could just easily move off the trail and make it somewhat more passable, rather than just like a faceplant trip hazard. But that's what they want to do. Oopsie. Too bad I didn't get it while it was moving. I wasn't thinking. Just got a haircut and some good advice from the nice people there. A little bit noisy here in Port Clinton. I feel a lot cleaner. I didn't get a bath, but man, just shaving that down made me feel better. So I'll head down here and get a beer and a burger, I think. Exciting stuff. Just left Walmart. I think I killed 2 hours in there just to try to, hopefully some of this heat would burn off before I start hiking again. I'm gonna get some water at the gas station and then hit the trail. So there's the freaking Walmart I just was at an hour ago. Yep, about an hour ago I was there. Oh, that road walk was some kind of hot. Pretty good flow here. It just almost rained a minute ago. It started sprinkling. Anyway, I got some water there, filled my bottles up, and then I actually washed my clothes across the way over there, not near the spring, but about a gallon-sized bag for that. You wouldn't believe how much salt was in my shirt just in a week. Not even a week. But anyway, a wet shirt makes me feel good. But didn't use soap or anything, but just rinsed it with water. Dump some on my head too. That feels good. Hopefully it's not any weird stuff in the water that gets into my brain. It's bad enough as it is. Okay, hike on. Also picked up some candy at the gas station there, along with the Gatorade, which I drank pretty quick. And these are not the Harborough bears, but different. I should have remembered what brand they were, but I'll look for them again. But they have more wild colors, probably radioactive ingredients, different plutonium isotopes that should glow at night tonight. If I eat these, I won't need my headlamp. They're pretty yummy.